you from the sacred mosque cause you to commit aggression against them. You shall not let your feelings of anger towards the people who have previously barred you from the sacred mosque cause you to commit aggression against them. Rather, you shall help one another to virtuousness and to the fear of Allah. But you shall not help one another to sin and to aggression. Therefore, fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is severe in punishment for the breaking of His covenant. So in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the Sahaba and then eventually us as well, that when you're dealing with that group of non-Muslims, mushrikeen of Makkah, who for the past many years, for the past decade, have harassed you and have put you through so much trouble, and did not even allow you to come back and visit your own city rather, and perform Umrah. That group of people that's not even allowing you to visit Umrah and to visit your birthplace. When you come in interaction with them, and when you interact with them, it is obvious that you're going to have ill feelings. They've done so much to you in the past. They have physically, emotionally harmed you and oppressed you and tortured you. So it's natural to feel anger. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا يجري منكم لا يحملنكم شنآن يعني بغض. That anger and hatred of such a group of people who have harmed you. What did they do? صدوكم, held you back from where? From Masjidul Haram, from the Kaaba. What greater sin could a person do than not allowing someone to come to the Baytullah, including the Prophet ﷺ and his companions? That's sin upon sin upon sin. And on top of that, that was their birthplace, that was their hometown. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even with dealing with such people, let not your enmity take the best of you. Instead, make sure that it does not allow you to commit aggression against them. Subhanallah. This ayah is amazing. The Sahaba are being told that when dealing with those who fought with you and who oppressed you, make sure you hold your hands back. Control your tongue. Control your feelings. And whatever, if you are in a position of power, if you have upper hand over them in business or something else, make sure you do not abuse them for what they've done to you in the past. These are still non-Muslims. The wounds of the war are fresh. The wounds of the boycott are fresh. Everyone has vivid memories of the torture that they had to endure at the hands of these people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, ensure that you do not commit any aggression against them. So one thing this ayah tells us, that it is permissible to have ill feelings at times. It's natural. Once I was visiting a city and with some other brothers. We had some seminar there. And there was a Q&A session at the end after the 2-day seminar. So I must say about 20% of the question was the exact same type of question. Is it okay to have shahwa? Is it okay to have lust? Is it okay to have a crush? Is it okay to have desire? What should I do? This is the basic thing that the youth were asking. Exact same question, but they worded differently based on their education level and based on their age, maturity, whatnot. So the answer is similar to this, the fact that shahwa, lust, desire, crush, whatever you want to call it, this is completely natural. Not only is it natural, but instead if it wasn't there, the nasl and the entire generation of human beings would all cease to exist. There would be no more humans left. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this purposefully within the human beings, this attraction, so that they can get married, and so that they can reproduce, and so that humanity can continue till the time Allah wills for it. So to have a desire after a person is married, for example, or to have a desire before a person is married, either way, that is not the problem. The problem is acting upon the dictates of that in an impermissible manner. That is what's haram. So a person has a desire to, the nafs says, to look at haram. But he says he has fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he lowers his gaze. The nafs desires to get angry and do something with that anger. We are being told that if you're feeling the anger, it's natural. You don't have to feel bad about it. Drink some water, say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, sit down and relax. But to feel angry, you don't have to feel bad about it. But acting upon the dictates of the anger is where the problem. So acting upon the shahwa in an improper manner is incorrect. And talking about the lowering the gaze, a lot of times a person asks himself, am I, everything I'm doing, is it just because I live in this Muslim community? I come from a Muslim Islam practicing home, a home in which Islam is practiced. How do I know whether I have sincerity in my actions or not? How do I know that I'm not just sitting in Taraweeh Salah and attending this dars and coming to the masjid because my whole family is here? This is the thing to do. What am I going to do at home alone? How do I know that I actually want to be here and I'm expecting reward from Allah for the past 2-3 hours that I've been here? How do I know that I'm sincere? How do I know that I'm a Muslim and not a munafiq like we talked about last night? And the ulama said there are certain actions that you have to see. There are certain actions that you have to see, are you doing this or not? And those are the parameters of iman. And one of them, by way of example, of course, is sawm, fasting. Because when a person is fasting, in front of people, yes, he can do iftar and suhoor. But throughout the day, when he's completely alone, when he's thirsty, like a, mashallah, beautiful hot day like this today we had. May Allah reward those brothers in volunteering outside in the parking, during whichever masjid they were at. It was a very hot day. What would stop a person from going to his car and opening up a bottle of water and drinking? No one is there on the way back to work or on the way back to school, wherever he is going. The fact that there's no one there. No one will know about it save Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so the fact that this person doesn't open his fridge or open up the water bottle and drink when he is so thirsty is the fact that, mashallah, he's not fasting for other people, he's fasting for Allah. And that's why Rasul said in hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, as-sawmu li. Fasting is only for me. وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. And another riwayah is وَأَنَا أُجْزَى بِهِ. That I'm the only one that is going to give the reward for this fasting. I want the angels to move out. They don't even record. You don't have the capacity to record this. This is done for me and I will reward you. And another variation of this hadith is وَأَنَا أُجْزَى بِهِ. You read it, أُجْزَى instead of أَجْزِي, which is the passive tense, majhul, which means وَأَنَا أُجْزَى بِهِ means I will be the reward for that person. He will get me. If you fast, you'll get me. I will be the reward for the one who fasts. Very beautiful meaning as well. And another way to measure ourselves to see how much iman we have is lowering the gaze. Because this is something that, again, no one knows except for the angels that are sitting with us. Kiraman katibin, ya'lamuna ma taf'alun, that know what you do, Allah says. Besides them, no third person, the two of them and us, are the only one who knows where we look, when we look, what we look at. No one knows that. This is the sign of iman. No police, no parents, no teacher, no sheikh, no brothers. No one can help us. And no fear of any of these people can stop a person. The only thing that can stop a person from misusing his gaze is the khawf and the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we find ourselves, mashallah, lowering our gaze, that's a very good sign. That means that we genuinely have taqwa and fear of Allah, and we, inshallah, is a good sign. But if a person finds himself, even in the fast, in the month of Ramadan, that he cannot control his gaze, and he doesn't even have a problem. I felt so bad. SubhanAllah, recently actually some time ago, I was speaking at a university. And I was speaking about a deep concept of spiritual diseases. But the university setting is that there's girls on one side, boys on one side. And I usually, we cannot lay the restrictions, say, oh, this must be a barrier and whatnot. That's whatever they have, we got to accept it. So we do our own barrier. I just take off my glasses. So alhamdulillah, I can't see anything. Even a person's right in front. So my work is done. Those of us who have to speak and don't have glasses, I don't know, maybe they look up and they look at, mashallah, look at the sky, and they're always looking at the sky, maybe, right? Or they look in the back. There's different ways. You can look in the back, you can look at the brothers. Because the thing is, the sisters also get insulted nowadays. Because you're not looking at us, so what's wrong, what not? So we said, okay, take off the glasses and we look, we can't see anything. So you're happy, and alhamdulillah, we're out of sin as well. But the thing is, what really caught my surprise was, as I was looking at the brothers, these brothers checking the sisters right in the middle of the talk. Just staring at them at different ones. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm speaking, but I feel like interjecting and say, brothers, we should try to lower our gaze, But it was just so disturbing to see that. But, we're not blaming anyone here. This is the reality. I don't blame the boy. Like they say, you throw a man into an ocean and you say, don't get wet. What is university? What is high school? It is the biggest jihad. Biggest jihad, subhanAllah, for these young boys and girls who attend university and college to protect themselves from haram. SubhanAllah, they are so ahead of us. So ahead of us. Those who are in that type of environment and are guarding their gaze. But the reality is this is something you and I need to practice on. Whether we're in the masjid, outside the masjid, wherever we are, this is the sign that we've got taqwa, this is the sign that we have iman. And another point that comes to this is that we are allowed to, for example, benefit from many things. If there is a bakery that has fresh donuts in the morning, you are more than allowed to go smell as you drive by the fresh donuts and the fresh bread. No one can charge you for that. And if there is a place of itar, you want to pass by and you smell the itar, it's fine. A rose, you want to look at the rose, you can look at the rose. You want to smell the rose, you can smell it. But to go pluck it out from someone else's garden, or the masjid garden too, for that matter. This is not a joke. It's actually one brother, I saw him plucking a rose out. I said, brother, what are you doing? He said, it's actually my anniversary, I'm taking it from my wife. I said, spend $1 and go buy it. Why are you taking it from the masjid, man? Spend $1 and go buy it from somewhere else. It's good, you should bring it, but that's cheap. If she finds out you plucked it out of the masjid, what's she going to say? So a person is allowed to smell, as a person is allowed to look at it, but is not allowed to pluck it if you don't own it. This is the rule for most things, subhanallah. You're allowed to, dur se dekho, but you're allowed to look at it, and whatnot, but don't take it, don't touch it if it doesn't belong to you. Except for a lady. The rule changes here. That a non-mahram lady, subhanallah, the sharia has protected her an extra layer of protective glass. That it is not even permissible for us to even look at her unless and until we have got permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through marriage or through relationship of blood. That's one difference. The status that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, that you cannot say anybody, she was just standing there. Just like the rose was just there, I'm just looking. You cannot do that. You cannot do that with the opposite gender. That of course applies to men as well, for women and men both. That subhanAllah, it is not the fact that it's free for all. I'm allowed to look, I'm allowed to pass comments. This is the society we live in. This is the society. They won't even leave a 60-year-old woman too. They must say, oh, you're looking very beautiful, you're looking very nice. The problem is these things are very strange for someone who comes from our culture. But bit by bit, over time as we are melting here, these things are also becoming normal now. A man doesn't mind his mom, people commenting on his mother. A person doesn't mind people commenting on his wife. That's what you call begherati. A person has absolutely no care about what people think, that it's something fine. Right? So now I'm just pointing towards things that we don't realize. And forgive me, I don't know anyone sitting here, I'm not having any specific person in mind when I say these things, but a lot of times we don't have someone pointing out to these things so we don't realize it. One brother, he came, a student of mine, old student, and I said, he just recently got married. And I said, yes brother, I know you got recently get married, I see it on your WhatsApp. I said, why in the world did you have your wife's picture with you sitting on your WhatsApp image? You want the whole world to see your wife the way she was dressed up for you on the day of your marriage, and she will never look like that again, guaranteed. You can ask her too. All that she put on was just for the day of the marriage. She's never going to go sit for 3 hours at the salon for you again. And now you want the entire world to see your wife like that? He didn't realize, a young kid. He said, subhanAllah, I didn't realize. I said, change it. That picture is for yourself. It is not for the world to see and to enjoy. So on WhatsApp, Viber, this is a big fitna today. Social media, people put the pictures of their wives. People put their pictures of their wedding pictures on Facebook, whatnot. This is what I'm talking about is, previously I talked about 2 Fridays ago, that we're just going with the flow. Sab kar rahe hain. Everyone else does it. Sab dekha dekhi. Today I asked one boy who had a very strange hairstyle. Really good kid. I said, what happened to you? He says, I said, I'm not talking about permissibility or impermissibility. Tell me, why do you have this type of hairstyle? I'm not talking about permissibility or impermissibility. He said, because everyone else does. I said, that's my problem. If you're going to have this mentality that you're going to have this fade and this type of hairstyle, that type of hairstyle gelled up, all sorts of different cuts, because everyone else, then tomorrow everyone else is going to do something else. Are you going to do that as well? This is that weakness that I want to correct within myself and everyone else. We can't do dekha dekhi. What everyone else is doing, I'm going to do. We have to teach this to our kids. We have to implement it within ourselves. We have morals, we have ethics, we have values, we have principles. We follow principles. We don't just look around and do what everyone else is doing. From a hairstyle, which it doesn't necessarily mean it's haram. But the idea that we simply go with the flow, we don't know. Like they say, a camel that's been tied. He doesn't know why he's tied. He doesn't know when he's unleashed. He doesn't know, he's just a camel. La yaqal. He has no brains, no understanding. We are not like that. We are people of basira, of understanding. We know what we do, why we do it. So give me a reason why. And of course we don't have a reason. So where we went off from? We were talking about simply how today this concept of as long as I'm not engaged. As long as I'm not interfering, it's okay to talk to any sister. It's okay to talk to any lady. It's okay to look at any lady. My brothers and sisters, the culture around us completely is okay with this. But we have to fight back and create this aversion in ourselves and our youth, in our young children and boys and girls, that this is absolutely not permissible for us. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Arhamur Rahimin, Rahmatul lil Alameen, he saw someone coming to the house and peeking inside. You heard this story. Peeking inside. And this is not the etiquette. So when he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, became very angry. And he said, oh, okay, sorry, you're inside the house, okay, can I take permission to come in? And something to the effect, the Prophet ﷺ, something to the effect said that you've already entered the house. When you look inside the house, you've already entered the house. What's the point of saying now? Looking, he said, I was just looking to see if someone is there, then I'm going to knock. We say this now, we're just looking to see, hey, then we knock. Rasulullah ﷺ is saying, no, إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ الْإِسْتِئْذَانُ لَهُ, that it's seeking permission has been there just before you even look inside the house. You don't know who's going to be inside. You have no right to be peeking into someone else's home. Similarly, we have no right at peeking at any opposite gender. No male to female, no female to male. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to these believers that let not your animosity and your hatred, so where did we go from? That animosity and anger is acceptable at times. Because these people hurt you for the past 15 years. They stopped you from performing Umrah and they fought with you in the battles. So it's okay to feel angry. But now you're not in a battlefield, you are in the marketplace. Do not let that anger overtake you, and now you begin to cheat him in business. You begin to cheat him in business. You lie to him, you deceive him, not allowed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Just today, another ayah we read similar to that. لَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنْآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. Let not your aversion from some people induce you to be unfair. Rather, be fair. So respected friends, if we are being told, or the Sahaba are being told to treat the non-Muslims who have actively fought with them a couple of years ago in this manner of justice, what about someone who we just don't get along because of some family issues? And now today they've come to our business. They've come to work in our company. And now they need a recommendation letter. Or the boss asks, what do you think about this person? I want to hire him. Now what are you going to say? Someone is asking your opinion about someone for business, for their daughter's hand in marriage. What do you think about this boy? Would it be good for my daughter? And now we have a problem with this person, that family. What do we do? Are we going to speak the truth? Say, we tried also and the engagement broke off, but he seems to be a good kid. How many of us would do that? How many of us would say, yes, very good family, we were actually engaged maybe, but things didn't work out, but doesn't make a difference? Or how about someone who was previously married, and is divorced, for whatever reason, and now someone comes and says, you were married to that person. Is there some good qualities in that person do you think that would be good for me or for someone? Will we cover up all the good that person had and focus only on the evil? Or will we mention, no, mashallah, she or he has good things, and of course certain things that are between me and them, but these are some good things which I think would work out. That is what the Quran is teaching us. That do not let grudges come in between you and others. My respected friends, this is a huge weakness in me and all of us. That subhanAllah, we allow ourselves to be overtaken by grudges and by old baggage. And when it comes to a place, now look, it's my turn to avenge. You see what I'm going to do. That thing comes in. We have to clean that up. I'm not saying we have to be lovey-dovey with everyone. But when it comes to justice, we have to be truthful. And that's exactly what the Sahaba radiallahu anhu ajma'in wa ardah were. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, a person came to him and he said, you know who I am? I have killed your brother. Khalid ibn Khattab, I think his name was, or Zayd ibn Khattab. He said, I have killed your brother. And previously in Jahiliyyah. Now today I have accepted Islam. Do you like me? He's asking Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, do you like me? So Amir al-Mu'mineen said to him, no, I'm sorry, I do not like you. Okay, that's clear. Then this person, he asked to Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, that will your hatred or dislike for me, will it become a means of you being unjust with me? Now you're Amir al-Mu'mineen, and top of that you're a judge too, you're the Supreme Court Justice. I'm a chief judge. So because I killed your brother, will that come between you and me if my case gets presented to you? He said, absolutely not. That is not going to happen. I don't like you, but I'm never going to allow that to overtake me when I'm making a decision. That is what Islam is about. That we separate our personal emotions from business, from the real deal. Bilal radiallahu anhu, we know, was purchased by Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. Siddiq, who's Siddiq? We all know Siddiq. He went to go purchase Bilal radiallahu anhu. He offered the owner of Bilal, a Habashi, African slave, he offered his money. The owner of Bilal radiallahu anhu said, oh Abu Bakr, you are a wealthy, well-known businessman. You know what? If you had asked me to sell this for a dirham, for one coin, I'd give it to you for a coin. Because he's useless, worthless to me. I don't like him. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu said to this disbeliever, I swear if you were to have asked me for 100,000 coins, I would have given you 100,000 coins. This man had a sayyid, he is a leader. And then he took Bilal radiallahu anhu and he put his hand under his armpits. And he said, Hada akhi, this is my brother. And that's why the Sahaba would say, A'taqa sayyidun sayyida. That a leader freed another leader. As Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is our leader, Bilal al-Habashi is our leader as well. And why not when Bilal al-Habashi will be the one who will be holding on to the reins of the markab and the mode of conveyance, the camel or horse, whatever it may be, of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah will be sitting and Abu Bakr and Bilal al-Habashi will be carrying and will be holding on to the reins, and Bilal radiallahu anhu will be walking in front of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam into Jannah. Another instance of justice, Umar radiallahu anhu in his khilafah, one of the leaders, Jabal ibn Ayham, who was a leader of a tribe, very respected leader and who of a large tribe, he came and accepted Islam. And when he came and accepted Islam, he was doing tawaf. And the Qabila of Ghassan or Ghassasina, Christian, huge, powerful Christian tribe. So he was the king, and he was doing tawaf. As he was doing tawaf, his chadar, his sheet, came in, a average Bedouin, he trampled on the chadar and the sheet. And because of that, it fell off and exposed his body. He's the king. He got upset and he looked at him and he smacked him one until he actually broke his nose. He broke his nose. He was bleeding and he broke his nose. So what is this Bedouin going to do? A Bedouin came to none other than Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. Subhanallah. And he said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, who I have to complain? I got no one to complain to but besides you. I'm sorry, this king here, or whoever this person is, he just broke my nose. So Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu said, who is this person? He said, bring him here. And it was Jabal ibn Ayham, the king of Ghassan. He said, do you hear what this person is saying? He's saying you broke his nose. As-sahihun? Is this correct? And the king said, I'm of a noble person. I come from a noble family. I don't deny things. If it's true, it's true. Yes, I taught him a lesson. That's what he said. I taught him. Adabtul fata. Maine is londe ko adab sikhaya. Adabtul fata. I have taught him a lesson. I taught him some etiquette. You don't mess with kings like this. Be careful where you walk. So Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu told him, listen, they're very nice, but now you need to seek forgiveness and make him happy at all costs. Do whatever you need to do to make him happy. Otherwise, we just read today, Al-Ainu bil-Ain, wal-Anfu bil-Anf. We just read this today. An eye for eye, ear for ear, nose for nose. Your nose is going to be broken next. He got shocked. Umar, I can't believe this. I was under the misconception that I, as a king of Ghassan tribe, this powerful Christian tribe, had some respect and honor in your court. He said, that type of asabiyah, that type of inequality between the rich and the poor, kings and the paupers, we have thrown it under our feet. That there's no place for that in Islam. We have started a new chapter in the history of humanity, in which king and pauper, young and old, rich and poor, all are the same and will be treated under the same law, equally. He said, if that's the case, then I am going to leave Islam. And he left, right? So the story carries on, where eventually, after many years, Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu sent a delegation to Jabal ibn Ayham, far away, hundreds and thousands of kilometers or wherever he was, and said, why don't you try bringing him towards Islam? Maybe his heart changed. When he went to go to him, he said, okay, but I'm upset still about what happened first time. So I want two things. I want to become the Khalifa after Umar. And I want to get married to Umar's daughter. Two things. Imagine, subhanAllah, he knows how to make someone angry, right? That's what he's saying. Because he knew that no one's going to agree to this. So he said, okay, I don't have a right to give you all of this. Who am I to tell you you can get married to the daughter of Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, or that you're going to become the next Khalifa. He went back, and by the time he reached back to Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, and told him, Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu said, subhanallah, as for the daughter, you could have said yes. But as for the Khilafah, this is not in our hands. There's much more than that. But the daughter, fine. And if I'm not mistaken, he sent him back again to go give him da'wah, to say, fine, he'll give you his daughter. But by the time he reached, he had passed away. Jabala had already died. But the lesson to be learned here is the amana and the trust and how everyone was treated equally, adil, during the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum majma'in warda. And that is why there was prosperity. The basic question everyone says, "Aaj hum itne zaleel khwar kyun ho gaye?" Everyone asks, why are we the worst and the scum of the earth, being treated like the scum of the earth today? Why are we, being mistreated like this and whatnot? My friends, when the ahkam and the commandments of Allah, we have mistreated the ahkam of Allah, we have fallen from the esteem of Allah. If we bring about the ahkam and the commandments of Allah, and justice and truthfulness within ourselves, once again, instantaneously, Allah will bring us back. أَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. You will be on the top as long as you are believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. And then Allah ends this ayah, says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Listen, create a society of mutual assistance. Ta'awun from tafa'ul, which means, awun is to help. Ta'awun is when two people help each other. We are not an individualistic society. Our society, Muslim society, is based on looking out for each other's good. Every boy out there in the lobby is our boy. Every girl out there, little girl, is our daughter. We have to look out for our boys and girls. We have to look out for our neighbors. We have to see, and subhanAllah, this ayah, ta'awun al-birri wa-taqwa, is not only for the Muslims. It is for everyone. Ta'awun al-birri wa-taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not say only with the Muslims. He keeps it general. Rather, He's addressing the non-Muslims. He's addressing, regarding the non-Muslims, that our society needs to be based on justice. Muslim be it or non-Muslim, we need to bring about this mutual respect. When you see an old man or old woman in this heat walking to the store, may Allah make us from amongst those who say, give that old person a ride. We see someone's car broke down, we need to help, whether snow or heat. We need to be creating this. People are, mashallah ta'ala, amazed and happy about how the whole Muhammad Ali, rahimahullah, janazah and memorials taking place and excited. And it's for 1 day, 2 days, it's awesome. But people will forget that very quickly. The thing is, when they'll come back to our own Lombard Villa Park, they'll see how you and I act. They'll forget what they saw there. They'll forget all those nice speeches and what he had to say, what she had to say. They'll look at how Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so act. And how Fulan in the classroom acts, Fulan in the college act. If really, my friends, we all can have that impact that Muhammad Ali rahimahullah had. It starts at a basic level. Basic level, individually inspire people. Individually work for good. Individually try to make this place a better place. Make this goal. Let me help humanity and let me make this place a better place. Let me stand up for the truth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will definitely bring back the honor of the Muslims. I pray to Almighty Allah that He, number one, saves us from allowing our emotions to get the better of us, from allowing our anger or baggage to begin to make us from amongst those who are unjust. And I pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to do what is right and do not follow what the trends are. Instead, whether there's treatment of our women, treatment of our children, do what is right. I pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He creates haya and modesty within ourselves and our children and our men and our women. I pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us from amongst those who are able to control their gazes and lower the gazes from haram. And I pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us from amongst those who will always work to create a better society, Muslim and non-Muslim society, by always standing up for what is right, for what is correct, and what is closest to what Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have asked us to do. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.